have to listen to the fake news talking about affordability. Affordability. Do you notice? What word have you not heard over the last 2 weeks? Affordability. Because I've won affordability. I had to go out and talk about it. But we inherited a mess.
Donald Trump is now claiming to have won affordability, whatever that means. Cenk, are you buying it?
All right. I think that's going to be his mission accomplished moment. So we're in for a lot of economic pain coming up over the next 3 years. I'll explain why in a little bit. But him bragging like that's going to go in so many commercials. Hear me now, quote me later. All right, Jordan, give him all the facts first.
So during his speech at a steel mill in Georgia yesterday, Trump boasted wildly about the economy and claimed that the media had stopped talking about affordability because of how good it is.
You don't hear the word affordability. You know, they just say the word. They look at the camera, say affordability. And I'd be watching, I'd say, oh, I can't believe it. Do people believe it? They would say affordability, everybody would say, oh, Trump's caused. No, they caused the affordability problem, and we've solved it. And we're going still lower, but we've solved it.
I have two questions. One, why is he so wet there? And second, what's the truth? While inflation is nowhere near where it was mid-COVID, Trump has not solved the inflation problem as he's repeatedly claimed. In reality, there have already been higher than usual price increases for utilities, electronics, appliances, and other household staples in 2026. Home electricity prices are up 6.3% and natural gas service 9.8% in the last year, while prices for ground beef have jumped 17.2% and coffee 18.3%, according to the January Consumer Price Index. Additionally, the core personal consumption expenditures price index, which excludes food and energy, rose 3% in December, up 0.2 percentage points from November. That matched the consensus forecast, but kept the pivotal inflation measure well above the Fed's 2% target. On a monthly basis, goods prices climbed 0.4%, while services increased 0.3%, indicating that price pressures remained relatively broad-based, rather than concentrated in any single price category. And the annual inflation rate in January was 2.4%, only slightly lower than the 2.7 annual rate at the time of Trump's election in November 2024. That's why the American people aren't buying Trump's claim that he has won affordability. And a survey released this month by The Economist and YouGov found that just 34% of Americans approve of Trump's handling of the economy. That puts his net approval rating on the economy at negative 23 points, the lowest it's been in either of his terms. The survey also found that just 31% of Americans approve of Trump's handling of inflation, and 53% believe the economy is getting worse. And while Trump is bragging about the economy in public, his team knows affordability is a major liability for Republicans in the midterms. His chief of staff, Susie Wiles, reportedly held a closed-door strategy session this week to talk about messaging. Wiles, Deputy Chief of Staff James Blair, and pollster Tony Fabrizio spoke during the meeting about how energy, housing, healthcare, fuel, and grocery prices desperately need to be Republicans' main focus right now in order to put up a fight in the midterms. Unfortunately for Trump, he got even more bad economic news today. US growth slowed much more than expected near the end of 2025. Gross domestic product rose at an annualized rate of just 1.4%, according to the Commerce Department, well below the Dow Jones estimate for a 2.5% gain. Trump lashed out when the news was announced, writing on Truth Social, "The Democrat shutdown cost the USA at least 2 points in GDP. That's why they're doing it in mini form. Again, no shutdowns. Also, lower interest rates. Too late, Powell is the worst. President DJT." It's always someone else's fault. And I'm very curious, Cenk, with the State of the Union on Tuesday, how he's going to try to spin all of this negative news.
Did he mean to misspell too in that too late?
Maybe he meant 2%, like 2 point. I don't know. It could have been a.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to make sense of anything he says, honestly.
The president's a child, so who knows, right? So maybe we shouldn't elect children going forward. All right, look, here's why the economy is going to be in a world of trouble, although there's some irony here. So they're basically lying about the job numbers. Trump fired the guy who was giving the accurate numbers. So that's why they had to adjust the 2025 numbers by, oops, it turns out there was 1 million less jobs. And that's among the reasons why they had to adjust it. The AI apocalypse is coming, and Donald Trump and his administration appear completely unprepared for it. They never talk about it other than to say, hey, is an AI great? Dow's above 50,000, right? No, not great. It's good. The irony there is that we might lose so many jobs that inflation might go down because no one has any money to spend. And then the disastrous war with Iran is coming. So he is going to, let's see, I love to, make these predictions and see what happens. But I think that the rest of Trump's term will be cataclysmic. It'll be an absolute epic disaster, and maybe unlike any we've seen in our lifetimes. And so at that point, people will come back to, I solved it. I won affordability. And my guess is people will be furious. So he's already lost trust with his own base over the Epstein files. So once you lose trust, then all of your lies are exposed, because then at that point the curtain is lifted and you realize, oh, he's not the populist hero fighting for you. It turns out he's another con man from the elites, and he just wants to do things for his own vainglory and ego. And once people see that, then everything unravels for him, and he's at the beginning of the unraveling, nowhere near the end. It's gonna get pretty ugly.
Yeah, that's something that's been on my mind a lot. I mean, we talk about this fight in New York to tax the wealthy there, this potential billionaire tax in California, and they're trying to do the same old scaremonger. Oh, we'll just leave. No, you won't. You're not gonna leave like two of the best cities in the world. You're not gonna do it. And to me, it sounds like you're talking about people like Mark Zuckerberg, $220 billion, 11 homes, 3 yachts, not even a dent. All of that together, not even a dent in his net worth. And he's, I don't want to pay more in taxes. What do you need that money for? And the greed that we're seeing there and we're seeing here, these corporations raising prices, stretching people thin, and of course, that is an extension of his tariff policies, which ultimately benefit the corporations, especially these refunds come through. We get screwed. The collective greed at the top is unsustainable. And like you're saying, it could get ugly, but I don't think they recognize that when you throw in AI, the job loss is there, the outsourcing, all of these things that continue to stretch people more and more. They can only stretch so much before they break. And these people are so greedy and so hubristic that they don't even recognize what might happen, how ugly things might get. They don't care.
Yeah,
I don't think they care. They're so detached from reality that when you have a single person controlling more wealth in the bottom half of the country, they think that's totally fine. No, we can't have taxes on billionaires. Let them sort it out. The hatred they have for the working class is just truly repugnant.
Yeah, so I think there's a head-on collision coming, Jordan, on a couple of counts. And I don't know what's gonna happen. Just made a prediction earlier. I love making them. But on that one, it's a black box to me. So here's what I mean by that. There's two different collisions that are gonna happen. One is a topic we've been talking about a lot, which is the establishment says Israel's the greatest ally we've ever had, and we should keep sending them money, et cetera. And now the entire American people, left, right, and middle, go, no, we're done with them, right? And then there's this issue, and the establishment says, well, Dow's over 50,000. This is the best of times. AI's miraculous and wonderful. Or the rich are getting even richer. Well, this is the greatest times. And the rest of the country is hurt, dog. Don't ask them if they're all right. And they're getting angrier and angrier, and that's a head-on collision. Now look, on this show for over 20 years, we've been covering the difference between the establishment and the rest of us. And so, and even so, I have never seen that difference as stark as it is today. Like when I go to talk to normies who still consume establishment media, they're on a different planet. They don't understand anything we're saying. And they go, oh, you guys are being hyperbolic. That's ridiculous. No, like Israel controls us. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard, right? Oh yeah, like you were saying, they give to 94% of Congress. That fact is anti-Semitic. You're crazy, crazy. Oh, AI is going to destroy all these. What are you talking about? No, I got Nvidia stock. Nvidia's doing great. I don't know what you're talking about. You guys sound nuts to us. Meanwhile, like the rest of the country's like, what are you doing, man? Our wages haven't gone up for 50 years, adjusted for inflation, and we can't afford anything anymore. And so Edwin had a great line the other night. Edwin's our stage manager here. And he said, they're worried about the stock market, we're worried about the supermarket. And they just don't get it because they're too rich, they're blind. And Jordan, I'm worried about the collapse, but I'm also worried about what's gonna happen afterwards, because it could go in a wrong direction. So all those super rich billionaires, they think, oh no, you're charging me, you wanna charge me 1.5% more tax. I do declare, Sir Topham Hatt, go get him, right? Guys, you'd be so lucky, man. After the collapse, people are gonna say, none of us have any money anymore. Oh right, those guys up there, the 900 billionaires, they have almost all the money. Why don't we redistribute that wealth on a much grander scale? Because they redistributed it to themselves by rigging all the rules on their behalf. And that's a fact. That's another fact that mainstream media covers up and lies about and doesn't tell you about. But we can show you exactly how they rigged the rules to get that money to flow to the top. And at some point, people are gonna want that money back. They're gonna want the money back from Israel, and then things are gonna get weird. And so we're now at the beginning of the unraveling, and it's the establishment and the people in power have no idea what's coming next. It's a head-on collision.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.